Have you seen that reel of by the way that I don't know if I posted it or not of some guy coming over and he's like, Jesus Christ, what is that? And there's this Arab dude dressed head to toe. And he goes, what you're looking at there are the pyramids of Giza. And this bloke turns around and goes, oh, geese. And then the pyramid has eyes and a mouth on it. And he goes, oi, oi, you cheeky slag.
Fucking hell, mate.
Ebenezer. Ebenezer in a nutshell, that. Me and Ebenezer, literally, till we die. How you doing, mate? It's nice to have you back.
Not bad. Hello, everybody.
Yeah, don't say hello to them.
Welcome back to Silent the Death Machine. My name's SilentMark. That's Aeron Nix. I've been away for a while.
Where have you been?
Reasons, parenting and adulting.
Been a long time without you, my friend. And I'll tell you all about it when I see you again.
You're in a giddy mood today, aren't you, mate?
Do you know what? I've actually had a very spectacular weekend, which has helped. Actually, today's been quite a tragic day. Got a text from my mum. Haven't spoken to her since like August. We're very excommunicated at this point, as everyone knows, open book on this podcast. And she was like, just so you know, Meg passed away, our cat, who we'd had for like
17. Shit.
Yeah, she died of cancer, but she was 17, which for me, and I was like, it's a little part of me that wanted to cry, but then a part of me was like, Meg had a great life, and I'd rather just celebrate that. So I was actually quite chill about the whole thing. I was just like, okay, that's cool. Obviously, it's very sad to lose Meg. It was just, I think what got to me about it, and it's something I wanted to share with our audience because they'll probably relate to this. So me and my mum have a pretty shit relationship at this point. Don't really talk. I don't have any relationship with my dad. Haven't for decades. So I'm now pretty much excommunicated from any real family other than my little sister. And the message begins with, "Don't know why you've chosen to cut me out. Thought you'd like to know the cat had died." It's like it really used the cat's death essentially as a method of communication, and then.
Yeah.
But at the end of the message, it's been very difficult for me the last 2 weeks. I'm just like, it's difficult for a lot of people, mate. You can't even share this one moment. And that kind of showed to me, it's not about the cat, it's about you, isn't it? It's got to be about you. And there's another reason why we're excommunicated. And I imagine a lot of people go through similar stuff like this. I just sent a message back. I'm very sorry to hear about Meg. The hardest thing about things like that is not getting a chance to say goodbye because obviously I live hours away from where my mum lives now. And people are like, it's just a cat. And I'm like, yeah, and
it's not just a cat.
And bearing in mind, I don't like cats, but I loved Meg. Like Meg was, our cat. That was different. It was like kids. I hate kids, but that was my kid. So it's like whatever.
Yeah. No, it's a member. At the end of the day, it's a member of your family. That's it.
Yeah. But it made me start. It started sort of making me like kind of, compute what's going on because, like, for instance, she lives with two of her ex-husbands, and one of them was basically the best stepdad I could have asked for in John, and he's like 84, 85 now. I just thought, ticking time bomb, he's not going to be here much longer. That's just the facts of life. It's that thing of like, I'm probably not going to have a chance to properly communicate with him much now until he passes, just because of the sheer level of ego and, right-wing smell that comes off of my mother's house. The whole place just stinks of Farage. It's not a good thing, really. And it's not a case of I hate right-wing people. I hate right-wing philosophy, but I don't hate right-wing people because they have different philosophies and different things. It's that thing of, Nigel Farage is a buffoon. Anyone who subscribes to that is a moron. I'm sure even he doesn't really subscribe to it. He's just he's like Piers Morgan. He's a shock jock, a celebrity that's out there purely to be divisive, like Katie Hopkins, and all these people can get in the fucking bin. But then you
fucking can.
That. Was that, mate?
No, go on, carry on.
No, I just thought like you correlate that with the weekend I've had. Sunday being one of the most spectacular days I've ever had in my career, which is very funny because, I went with someone who, like me, has had to put up with a lot of abuse, which I frankly think is unnecessary. The abuse is look, if people levy truths at me, fine, I will take accountability. But when you're just making stuff up and, putting shit in group chats and things of that nature, it's disappointing. I'd love to say it's hurtful, but then I realized on Sunday what I was doing and I thought, just keep going up in levels, keep going up in layers. The best way to respond to these people is by being even more successful, which fulfills me mentally very, very well. And that also coincides with the fact that I haven't been on antidepressants for almost a month, which is quite a lifestyle choice. So again, had a fucking massive drop off, as you know, mentally. And when I spoke to the doctors, they were like, yeah, you're doing a lot of yo-yoing. So what we're going to do is none of it, because what you're doing is you're fucking up your system over and over and over. So we want to basically clean you out, give it some time, see how that goes. And then if you feel that you're okay, you can move forward. And ironically enough, I have actually felt fantastic, much more cognitive and much more alert to what I'm doing. And my productivity hasn't dropped off. And that's the first time that's happened. And that's something I'm supposed to celebrate in a way. But it's also like, it's weird. Like I'm going for a lot of wild wholesale changes all at once. And I'm coping with them extraordinarily well, actually. And yeah, just enjoying what I'm doing. So, and the funny thing is, you know, like right now is probably the toughest time in terms of finances for me. I'm not broke or anything, but you know, our bills have finally doubled for electricity and things like that. And I speak, of course, to the world because we're all going through it. And for anyone who wants advice or support in that, give us a shout because, you know, whatever we can do to help, because I know what it's like to penny pinch. But then that's brought reward as well at home. Can't afford to keep going shopping, can't afford to keep going down to the supermarket and buying crap food or whatever. So I'm, you know, making far more substantial and far more nutritious meals at home, which then in turn, not only from a health standpoint, but from a productivity standpoint of, I just made a fucking slap up meal because I know how to cook very well. My mum was a chef. She taught me how to cook. And so, and I've just neglected that. And I've always used my lifestyle as an excuse. I've got time, I've got to edit, let's just get McDonald's. And it's like, that's actually not an excuse. And I've got more than enough time. So I need to take more accountability. So yeah, it's not all perfect, but it is quite unique. So that's pretty much me caught up since we last spoke. How was Odyssey on the weekend, by the way?
Odyssey was good. I enjoyed it. It was a busy show. We had 8 matches. All three of our championships were up for grabs. There was the main championship, there was the women's championship, there was the our first tag team champions as well, which the Meaty Boys Synergy won, which was fucking brilliant.
You love to see it.
And it was really, really good show. I knew we had time constraints, so I didn't do my usual messing about, which I didn't enjoy as much, but because I can't be me, but I understood the point of view as well. But I noticed that the crowd weren't on it early on, so I just thought, right, I'll get through it. I'll hype them up and I'll just get through it. So that's what I did. I did my job.
Yeah. Did you enjoy it?
And it was good.
Do you feel fulfilled?
I did. Yeah. I felt like I fucked up, which was confirmed to me, which was just not. Yeah, we had a gimmick match, and I didn't say what the gimmick was. I didn't say the stipulations of the gimmick. So I said it was a street fight, but I didn't explain what a street fight was. And apparently that
story in it for most fans.
For most, but not all. And
you've got
so
quite
that was
an audience, haven't you? A lot of family friendly sort of audience.
Yeah. So that was a no. And it's a weird thing. I had my child reflex on because I don't mind someone coming to me and giving me feedback constructively and stuff.
Yeah.
But when it sounds like someone is coming and bollocking you, I kind of retreat back into that child thing. And it's a very big feeling of the person that gave me the feedback. I don't think they like me. I don't think they like the fact I'm there.
Name and shame.
No, because it might just be me. It's probably just me. It's probably just my thought.
Potentially, wrestling has a very it's renowned, isn't it? It's historic for not having if for anyone who works in the wrestling industry, they'll find this out. This is not your casual employee conversation. They're all carny fucks. We're all carny as shit. And also it's that thing of probably not getting paid that much. So it can probably come across in your mind of, hang about, I'm kind of doing this more for the love of the game and, you know, to help my friends and things like that. So, whatever. I'm assuming it was somebody who was involved in the street fight.
No. No, it was someone involved with this show.
Okay. What's your fucking problem, Ethan, you little prick?
No, it wasn't him.
Nah,
it wasn't him.
Isn't he the owner, right? He owns it, right?
Yes.
Right, well, if it wasn't for him, then who cares? Fuck him. That's how I look at it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, fuck him.
Until the next show where I do get feedback of that, but, you know. But it felt more on Saturday. It might have just been my mood, but it felt more on Saturday like I was there to fill out the numbers and I wasn't really wanted or needed there. Yeah.
And yet, who else would do the MCing?
Fucking anyone.
Yeah, but then I did the MC and I made my MC debut for BCD and I enjoyed it and I thought I was good at it. But at the same time, I sat there and realized, wow, like if you don't do a decent job and present the matches and the show and interact with the crowd, well, it can actually make or break how the audience reacts to the general product.
Mm-hmm. And you can, one of the big things for me is I always do the whole, are you ready for your next match? And properly, but like kind of try and make them shout. And if they don't, I say, right, we're going back and doing that again because that's not fucking good enough. And because I feel if you do that first line and leave them dead and don't acknowledge that they're not built up, then they won't build up for the match.
One thing I did on my debut actually was, you know, because I've watched so many MCs do it. It's amazing actually how many MCs I've seen that aren't that good, that work for pretty decent companies. And I think Mark could have your job easy.
I was asked by a gentleman. He asked if I wanted to work at any of the companies, and I didn't quite know how to answer it. I'm like, well, yeah, I'd love to, but who'd have me? Who'd want to do this?
It's not what you say when someone approaches you with a potential work.
No, but he's not in charge of anything. He's more he's someone like
just asking out of interest.
Yeah. But he was quite complimentary about the whole thing. But yeah, so one of my things is I always give fascinating facts, as I mentioned before on the podcast. Give fascinating facts about the commentators. And one of my favorites has always been was kicked out of the Magic Circle for poking at it, which I love as a sentence. But the one I did on Saturday, I really liked because of how fucking pointless it was and how fucking stupid it was. It was that both the commentators are they're a quiz team, and they've gone up and down the country, and they've entered every single pub quiz in every single pub for the last 4 years. They've been in every single one, and they've always come third. And I just like that, the thought of them wasting all of their time traveling the country, always coming third, not even going down the bottom. I liked the silliness of it. 3 people laughed.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure one of them was my ex.
3 more than, you know, if you hadn't said anything at all. Do your kids go to these shows?
Yes, they do.
They like them, do they? Big fans?
Love them.
Who's their favorite?
Absolutely love them. My son, he likes RPD. He keeps on asking if Alexis Falcon's going to be there, because he's also a pervert.
I was going to say, he'll be an even bigger pervert if he sees what she's been putting on Twitter lately.
Yeah, I know.
That's some gimmick you're doing there, pal.
It is a bit, innit? Aeron Crowley. Yeah, so they like it. My daughter absolutely loves it. They both love the storyline. Yeah, it's really good. I was saying that even my ex likes it. You know, she enjoys going. I didn't tell my kids when the next show was. It was my ex that came up to me and goes, "When's the next show? Because I'll bring the kids." It's like, you don't fucking need to. Which no, I want to go. So it's quite nice.
Very cool. It's nice. You got a very amicable relationship, haven't you? We still, you know.
Yeah.
Very polite.
Well, we
still mates, you know.
Yeah, we're friends. Yeah. we're not, but just because we're not together anymore doesn't mean we're not a family, is the way we look at it. She will always be there to support me. I will always be there to support her. If either of us need help, we're there. It's that. And it's also to make sure that the kids know that they're safe, no matter where they are. It's still the family. It's still their home. They're not having to play mum against dad. You know, it's mum and dad, no matter where they are. And there's not going to be any nastiness for it because of that. A lot of people have that.
Yeah.
And I see how miserable it can get them. And as two people prone to depression as we are, we want to make sure that they're happy and safe and know that things are okay.
So all in all, a decent weekend, you'd say? Feel good?
Yeah, it was good.
Good.
It was good. Yeah. Had that feeling of doubt, as I mentioned, but having the feeling of doubt about my career anyway, in entertainment, just because I'm bitter. I feel like I'm not getting anywhere and it's depressing. But on the other hand, I've started writing again.
Good creative.
I've started writing the comic book I was going to write. I'm no longer writing it as a comic book. I'm writing it as a film.
Yeah, because you tagged me in something to do with comics as well, didn't you? On Facebook.
Yes.
That guy who picked up.
Did you know what it was?
Is that one that you were involved with?
No. We have gone on about Final Space on this podcast numerous times.
So that's your mate who was in
no.
that video?
No. That was the creator of Final Space.
Okay.
Saying that he's finally able to finish the story because Warner have given him the rights to produce that comic book and it's going to finish the story of the whole series.
Have they given him rights before? Or is this the first time he's got it under Warner?
I think they owned it anyway.
I don't know. I have zero knowledge of comics and graphic novels and stuff like that.
No, so Warner owned the property, even though that dude created it.
Oh, I thought the idea was that like he created this comic, couldn't get it off the ground, and Warner had said, "Fuck it, we'll back it."
No, so you've watched Final Space, haven't you?
No.
You have, because you told me that you were gutted that it was finishing.
Is Final Space the animated series?
Yeah.
With the little explosive
green thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, is that? Oh, okay. I thought it was an entirely different thing.
No.
I thought it was just some random like comic book.
No. So you mentioned to me that you were gutted because it had been cancelled.
Well, it didn't get a proper finish. Yeah.
But that's going to be the finish.
Okay. Are they actually going to do an animated series or just the graphic novel?
The comic book is going to be the finish. He's actually finally able to. Yeah, he's finally able to write it and finish it, and it's going to come out.
That is that because it's cheaper, or because a lot of people might say, "Okay, that's great," but they find it easier to just sit there and watch it in a TV format.
It's because Warner won't pay for it, and he can't pay for it because animation's fucking expensive.
Yes,
him drawing it and is a hell of a lot cheaper.
Fair. So
I started writing my little stupid. Sorry,
why are you bitter? You mentioned you're bitter. Do you feel like you're not going in the direction you want, or getting the opportunities you want?
I feel like I'm stuck in a rut, and I'm seeing the world pass me by. I've mentioned it before. Seeing not just people in my career, in my field, but also people that I have supported in my career, now bigger and no longer need me. And so I have no fucking interest. So it's, so that's the reason I'm bitter. And it's happening a lot at the moment because a lot of bands and stuff that I've been shouting about and playing for years and being the only people at one point to play any of these fuckers on air they're now big, and they're like, oh, we don't fucking need him. It's fine.
Yeah, not as many people as we'd like to think pay it forward.
Yeah.
Every time I get a bit level of success in wrestling, I'll try and share it with someone. I took Ajax to exposure with me on Sunday, and obviously you can tell from behind me, like, got to meet one of the biggest wrestlers in the world. And at no point did I think, this is for me and me only. That, I just put, that's why I put in a group chat, didn't I? Say, I got a free space. Anyone want it? And he jumped straight in there because he knew that Frankie Kazarian was going to be here, Laura Di Matteo, Zaya Brookside, Jack Selstrom, who people might recognize as Jack Stars from NXT UK. It was a big card, a very big card. Yeston Reese was on there as well. He's the one who wrestled Frankie Kazarian, which was sick because obviously we know Yeston from the first show. Fucking humongous tank of a man, but an absolute gentleman like no other. Yeah, marvelous human being. And yeah, no, it was one of those things. It does dismay me a bit when I hear that because it's like, but then I also know how accurate that is. There's been a lot of people who, I helped push up the ladder in our business, whether it be designing a logo or a video or commentating on them or getting them gigs for whatever reason. And very few people will pay it back or even pay it forward. I would prefer if those people then helped out other people who are struggling because I'm moving up as well, so I'm okay. Yeah, no, you see it all the time. Protecting their spot, they call it in wrestling, where they get to a level of success and they feel like they have to wall it off from everybody else to make sure that nobody else can get a slice of it. And it's like, well, why can't you share it and both be successful?
It's bands are different because bands will pay it forward. They will bring bands that they like out with them, and help push them, which is a really nice thing to do. But I think the bitterness comes from with them going further. I'm still not getting anywhere. I've kind of like plateaued at this level. Yeah, I plateaued at this level and everyone else has gone up. Not taken away from anyone's fucking success, because I would say about 99% of the people that I'm talking about deserve that fucking success. There is there's no bit in it where like, oh, well, they don't fucking deserve that. It's just a case of, it's nice, but just give us even a shout, just a shout.
I'm very lucky that the proper friends that I have made, and they are few and far between in wrestling. There's some good ones. Nadia Sapphire is a good example of that. Probably one of the best friends I'd ever have. I didn't get that gig on Sunday, unless she puts in a good word, which is exactly what she did. She told the promoter. The promoter was like, we desperately need a videographer. I can't do this show without a videographer. And she was like, fucking use my one. He's brilliant. Bob's your uncle. And in turn, like, first thing I do, message her on the way back. Thank you very much. It's thanks to you. But then also, pay it forward. Toby gets to sit in the car with Frankie Kazarian and Laura Di Matteo. Awesome. Like, for someone like him who's only really just kind of scratching the surface of what he wants to do in our business, invaluable experience. He gets to meet Zaya Brookside and say hello to people and stuff like that. And, and credit to him as well. He was absolutely fantastic. And that was the other thing of, I really love when I put my faith and my reputation in people and they reward me by being excellent within themselves. I don't care if Toby's probably going to spend the rest of his life saying, oh, thanks and all that and blah, blah. I'm like, don't thank me. You go and enjoy it and make the most of it. Your life will be, it's funny, I probably got paid reasonably well for it, but ultimately when you consider the amount I spent on petrol and food and that, there'll be nothing there. But I don't care because of something like that memory there. That's going to matter when it's all said and done, when I'm on my deathbed, no matter how many years that is from now. I'm going to remember that more so than, boy, yeah, I earned so much at this weekend. Okay, that's nice. But it will never top, being able to hug Zaya Brookside and catch up with her and, all those little memories. But it was also that vindication of, here's a guy I put faith in who was getting an unnecessary amount of shit. And, in turn, I got an unnecessary amount of shit for essentially having faith in people, which is fine. I get it. I understand people have their own methods to things and whatever. And the funny thing is, I don't harbor resentment towards those people. People think I do, and I actually don't. As long as they're okay and they're healthy and happy. One of them was at the show. I said, hello, you all right, mate? How's it going, bud? You all right? And he was fairly cordial. I was like, cool. But it's that vindication of every time I get that message or I see a fucking screenshot of something horrible that's said about me or whatever, and then more and more I still keep garnering work and success and keep moving up the ladder. And that's a reminder of it's not a me problem, it's a they problem. And that's something that's quite important for people listening, is that it's not always your fault, and it's certainly not always your problem. Take accountability for how you behave. But if you've done that and people still have an issue, it's their fucking problem. Like, you can't, honestly, you're always going to upset somebody. You're always going to have somebody in your life who doesn't like what you're doing. There's always going to be people envious or jealous of you. There's always going to be people trying to piggyback off your success, or, you know, throwing your name around hoping that it will get them a booking or an opportunity or whatever. And, you know, if those people are happy for you to do that, cool. But bottom line is just do what you do and do it to the best of your ability. The hard work does eventually pay off, but it also doesn't hurt to have the right contacts and the right friends. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
And that's something that's probably built my career, is the fact that I've made the right contacts.
There's one thing that did happen on Saturday. Tell a lie. It happened on Sunday. I woke up to a message on Facebook on a events board from the local area. And it says, the guy in the hat is so this is in inverted commas. The guy in the hat is a Sigma on his way to being a Giga Chad. He's cool. The words of my 9-year-old used to describe Beyond Radio's SilentMark whilst announcing Odyssey Pro Wrestling. I don't know what most of that means.
The fuck is
apparently, oh, God fucking knows. If anyone out there knows, fucking let me know. Because Jesus Christ, I've no idea. I don't know what being a Sigma is. I don't know what being a Giga Chad is. The fact that he said he's cool, I don't know if that's sarcasm. But, you know, I've found my audience. Apparently it's 9-year-olds.
Not touching that. And nor should you. Very good. I'm just going to Google what Giga Chad is because I'm fascinated. Right. Sigma as well. So I only know Sigma as the brand of lenses for camera. I'm just like,
okay.
Yeah, no clue what a Sigma. Sigma is apparently a Greek letter. Shock, they all are. Apparently, I'm pretty sure that's not you. Well,
what?
In the system of Greek numerals, a sigma has a value of 200.
I have a value of 200.
Yes, you do.
It's on my top trumps.
Yeah.
In top trumps B team of professional wrestling. Mine is Shambolicness. My score is 200.
Depends on how you look at it. In language, in historical linguistics, a sigma is used to represent a common Brittonic consonant with a sound between S and H, perhaps an aspirated, whatever that fucking symbol is. It's very weird.
Definitely that. I'm definitely that.
You are definitely aspirated. I can say that much. So in this probably is. I mean, it depends how you look at it. Chemistry in alchemy, sigma was sometimes used to represent sugar.
I am sweet.
Sweet and
oh wait, hang on a second. No, I'm fat. I've got diabetes. I think that's what he means.
Me too.
It might be that.
Yeah, me, you, and Carl Wilkinson and the No Legs Brigade. Yeah, the symbol is to denote a Stefan Boltzmann constant as well in physics.
Oh, they're the best constants.
In quantum mechanics, it's used to signify stress.
Again, all of them describe me.
And in astronomy, it represents a velocity dispersion, which I believe is what you call a shit.
Yes.
I really want to call my shits now velocity dispersions. My God, I need to write that down because I might call the podcast the velocity dispersion.
The velocity dispersions.
Yeah, because
it's a good one.
The velocity of dispersions. And everyone will be like, what the fuck does that even mean? We don't know. But what was the other thing?
We
A
have no
Giga
idea.
Chad?
Yeah, a Giga Chad.
Are we implying that the kid said this?
Yeah.
Okay, so the image that comes up when you put in Giga Chad is this extraordinarily handsome person.
Squidward.
Is that you?
Isn't that Squidward?
I have no.
You know when there's
Giga Chad is a
picture
nickname
of
associated with the art project Berlin 1969. The name Giga Chad indicates that the person who was initially assumed to be real is the ultimate Chad Thundercock, an internet archetype. This is on knowyourmeme.com.
Am I memes?
I have no idea.
Nix.
Ah, here we are. An internet
Am I
archetype
memes?
representing an ultra masculine, sexually attractive man.
How the fuck am I ultra masculine?
I'm more concerned that a 9-year-old said that about you.
Right. On our wrestling show, we have some of the most beautiful feminine women in the world, in the country. They are more masculine than I am. And they are feminine as fuck.
Nothing wrong with that. Who was there, women's wrestling wise, on the weekend?
Women's wrestling, it was Jenny B and Leah Raven, who are both, they're both amazing human beings.
Leah Raven, love to meet those guys. Like, it's funny, isn't it? Like, it doesn't matter how many. I've met thousands of wrestlers, still haven't met the majority of that roster. I saw that you had Jason King,
wonderful people,
and my boy Cameron.
We did.
Cameron Merchant, good mate of mine.
Yeah, I was really lovely humans.
Cameron's
really, really lovely.
Yeah, Jason King's a dork. But Cameron King, he's Cameron Merchant. He's great. I love Cameron. Fucking amazing. Got his start as a referee.
Oh, yeah, he was lovely.
Just used to referee, and then decided I want to be a wrestler. I'm bored of being a referee, and now look at him. He's fucking great.
He's fucking good.
Super lovely as well. Good. Puts a fucking shift in and works so hard to help everyone out as well. Brilliant.
Jason King, it was so funny because his personality, his in-ring personality is just him being a bastard. He kept on mentioning how he was Southern. Yeah. It was quite funny because at the beginning they said, right, we're on a tight schedule with these matches. Can you make sure you cut down your shenanigans a bit? Don't not do it. Just can you squash it down a bit?
Worst thing you could ask a wrestler to do.
No, that was, for me, that was fine. Jason King came out half an hour.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Just
just
sat there
too fucking big to not take up as much time as possible. I mean, they did come up from Plymouth, didn't they? So
but then backstage, he was as giddy as anyone else on that roster. He was just so nerdy and like, oh, this is great, isn't it? I've never been here. And just really, really fun.
He does exude a lot of energy. Yeah, like, astonishing amount of energy, especially for a midget.
He was great.
Very impressive.
He was great. I fucking loved him.
Yeah, I'm glad they did well for themselves. I want Cameron to do really well.
They did really, really well.
Yeah,
they played the heel very, very well. And in Morecambe, a good heel, they're remembered. It's fucking amazing.
You wait till I wrestle out there.
You'd be more than welcome.
Hasn't been announced yet, but I will be in the King of Essex Royal Rumble in June.
Ooh, piss the bed.
I know.
That's amazing.
Probably might shit the bed, to be honest, but you never know. We'll give it a go.
Nothing wrong with that.
Fingers crossed for a late entrant.
Yay!
The later you get in, the less work you have to do. Also, have you seen who's going to be debuting with me in it? Tanvir will make his wrestling debut in a King of Essex Royal Rumble.
Holy shit!
Mm-hmm.
When is it?
June 24th. It's a Saturday in Essex. We can, if you can get down there, we can find somewhere to put you up. And then you can come to Cardiff with me the next day if you want, because I'm in Cardiff for a wrestling society with Nadia.
So I've got the kids that weekend. So leave it with me.
Good news for you though, because it'll all be recorded by me and commentated by me, apart from the Rumble bit, which is really fun.
So on the one hand, it's bad because I don't get to see you guys wrestle. On the other hand, I don't need to go to Essex.
That is a plus, yes. Yeah. It's a shit up.
Big old boobies.
I've got to be a good guy. So I've got, you know.
You
Yeah.
mentioned before
Scott.
about a good. It's one problem I have. I really, really want to be a dick.
You should be a manager. I think you'd be fantastic at it.
I would love to be a manager. I genuinely, for a while,
I will. I'll tell you what. When I turn heel, I will let you
Hmm.
be my manager for a couple of shows just for a bit of fun. You can come out and just be like, fucking, and we could just go, just basically do this podcast, but in like combat form. Perfect.
Yeah. The thing is, I wanted to do so I'd sometimes dress up as a clown. It's called Conkers. I wanted to do a manager as Conkers.
Yeah, fuck it. I'm game for it.
'cause I
You
thought
know
it'd be
Frankie T's
fucking
listening.
hilarious.
It'll be all over that.
It's fine. But
He'd give an opportunity
reason,
to Hitler if he was still alive.
the reason for it is because I wanted to do it like the character itself is very not so much anti-hero, but more anti-everything. He's not really heel. He's not really a face. He doesn't fucking like anyone. He will try and stick his oar in every way, shape, or form.
Depressed as fuck.
No, he's not depressed. No, he's not depressed. He's just a bastard.
He's a saboteur.
Yeah, he doesn't give a shit about anyone. He doesn't. All he wants to do is ruin people's day, whether that be the most baby face of baby faces or Roman Reigns style heel. He wants to just not give a shit about any of those. He just wants to piss all of them off.
Just sounds like you.
Yeah, exactly.
You as a
Exactly.
clown, phenomenal. Yeah, no, we'll get you the opportunity. We'll kick a door in.
I was watching SpongeBob SquarePants movie with my son the other week, and it came up with because he likes watching stuff with subtitles because he's a good reader, so he likes reading it as well. And it came up with probably the best band name that I've ever seen. It was this bit where they're all superheroes and suddenly something appears out of thin air. And the subtitle was Powerful Thrum. I fucking love that as something that descriptive.
That sounds like a Velocity version if I've ever heard one.
And I want to call a band Powerful Thrum.
We could
Velocity
just
Dispersion
and
and
the be a tag team called the Powerful Thrum.
No, Velocity Dispersion and the Powerful Thrum.
Velocity Dispersion actually would be a great fucking name for a tag team.
Wouldn't it?
I'm gonna write that. I'm writing it down on my notepad here online so I don't forget. Velocity Dispersion, because I know me. There we go. Beautiful. That will now be ingrained in everyone's mind. Good shit. Anything you want to talk about?
And also, well, yeah, because something happened to me a few weeks ago.
Did you have sex?
Have you met me? No.
What, did you implying that only I'm allowed to have sex with you, isn't it?
Yes.
Awesome. Sign me the fuck up. You won't be soft when I'm done with it.
I'll be raw.
Like a blood.
So I got a friend request on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Someone that I know from wrestling.
Okay, cool.
Let's call Kelly. Really nice lady. So I added her. No friends, no posts, but it said private as the thing. So I thought, oh, it's just a private thing for us. Nice that she's included me. She messaged me, said, "Hi, sorry to bother you, but I'm in a magazine contest on Instagram. I really want you to vote for me. Will you?" And I went, "Yeah, sure, no worries." And then they went, "I've just added your profile to my voting list. Thank you. The voting link will automatically be sent to you from Instagram. Once you get the link, don't click it, just copy it and send it to me so I can count your vote. Thank you." I said, "That sounds weird as hell, but sure." She went, "Send me the link on screenshot one time on Instagram. Thank you." You know what's happening. Now, this happened at 4 minutes to 10 one night. I was very tired. I was going into bed and I thought, I want to go to sleep. And then I started getting these messages. I went to bed and actually slept at about 1:30. I might have had fun. I won't go through the whole thing. I'll just go through the tidbits. One of them says, can you add my email to your Instagram so that you can receive the link immediately so that I can confirm your vote? Do you know how to add email? And I went, I do not. She goes, okay, I will guide you through on how to put the email and remove it back. Gave me the email address and then basically showed me how to put their email address as my email address so they could send a link to screw it up. I ended up going, okay, Kelly, I'll be honest with you. This is really upsetting me. We have that night in Morecambe a few months back, and you don't talk to me, and now you're asking me to edit my profile. What's going on? Did I do anything wrong? They went, very sorry, sad face, heart. I said, did it mean anything? And she went, okay, please click on your edit profile so you can send me the screenshot. I went, answer my question, Kelly. I need to know. She went, what is that? Please forgive me. I said, it's late. I'm tired. I need to know. Seriously. She went, it was nothing. I thought, that's a bit brutal. Fair enough. Thanks for being honest. And then I went, anyway, now for a serious question. And I need an honest answer to this. How many people so far have been stupid enough to change their email address on their account so you can hack their account? And their answer, not many.
At least they're honest about that.
But still, for another half an hour, was still trying to get me to change it.
Fuck's sake.
Even doing things of, if I won, I would give you £60. But holy shit, £60, I'll be able to finally pay your mum back for services rendered, as she likes to say. And she went, okay, please, can you just add the email? I went, I've done that. How many times can I vote? She went, it's just once. I went, fuck. What if I do another account? Once you add the email now, then you get a voting link and you can definitely remove the email. No, it's a personal account. I went, done it. Send that fucker over. And she kept on saying, no, but you haven't. Send me a screenshot. I went, no, I've done it. Just carry on doing it. I've added it. She went, you can't just add the email like they've done with the code. You are lying. I went, would I lie to you? And then they sent me a picture of loads of different versions of emails, scribbled some out at the top, but left most of them saying, your password has now been changed. Your password has now been changed. Like, I'm stupid enough to not read those things. So I went, you're showing me 4 people whose passwords you've changed. You're a fucking idiot, mate. She went, no, that is my account. And then it goes on. Where is it?
I'm beginning to see why you're not where you want to be in your life, mate.
Why? Because I spend my time doing this?
Yeah, I mean, dedicating 3 or 4 hours to this is probably not the way forward.
Yeah, but it was fun.
It sounds entertaining, if nothing else.
They went, so once you add the code, now I will still send you the code. I went, Lord be praised. Yeah, add it now. I went, you add it now. I'm not your mum.
Yeah.
You're wasting my time. Okay, if you're not adding, tell me. I went, you add the email. I've done this charade, Kelly. I'm telling everyone in Wetherspoons that your vagina looks like someone's kicked a kebab over a fence. Then see if that gets you drinks from Derek after that. And then
fucking hell.
Yeah. She went, you ask a lot of questions. Just add the email and get out of here. I kept on asking questions. I went, have you blocked me yet? Because on the one hand, I'm tired and should be asleep. On the other hand, this is really fun. They went, don't worry. So I went, about what? Is my dog still alive? Since you don't want to add the email, I said, wait, you're going to kill my dog if I don't want to send an email? What kind of sick arsehole are you? Please, I don't know if you're adding the email, just get out. I said, you just tried to reset my password. Of course, I'm not going to add my fucking email. By the way, yeah, they had tried to reset my password at this point. And then they called me a bitch. So I ended it with, I know, right? But fuck me, I'm sexy with it.
Yeah.
And
then you slept like a baby.
I kind of did. She then went, I don't understand. I went, I know. She went, block me, please, because you're a bitch. I went, right. It's been fun. Enjoy your evening. I hope whatever bad thing happened to you in your life gets better. They put a load of numbers. And then I went, but also, I really hope you fall on a spike. See you on the 22nd. Because she was supposed to be at the show as well. And that was my night.
Productive then, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Very. I did loads. I had written that night, though, so it's not like I completely wasted my time.
3.5 hours of trolling a troll.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So, yeah, anyway.
I have problems. You wanted content. I gave you fucking content, mate.
It's certainly that.
I didn't say if it was good, but it was content.
This is my
Speaking
excuse
of
to every
which-
woman I've been with.
It's content. It's
Content.
not great. There's not.
I didn't say it was.
there's
I never
not
said
mu-
it was going to be good. Your expectations are your own problem.
There's not much in it, but there's content. It's there.
It's it's protein, whether you like
emails.
it or not. Oh, we've got emails.
Emails. We have. If you guys want to email us, you can do.
You might do though, because you're all a bunch of lazy cunts. Like, especially the ones in the rest of my group. All you lot can suck my dick. Oh yeah,
True.
fucking hell. Oh, Nix, get me a booking. Oh, Nix, can I come to this show? Oh, Nix, can I do this? Can't even bother to. What's the matter? Your thumb's not working. You're all from Norfolk or something. You fucking six-fingered gimps. Like they won't fucking like like literally anything. Doesn't matter. Do you want advice? Send it to us. Do you want to ask a question? Anything you like, send it to us. Whatever. It can be anonymous too. And like bless Tanvir, because I know he sent some stuff in. And Frankie T normally does a reasonable job. And Robbie, God bless his soul, he's just come out of surgery, by the way, and everything's all right. So that's good.
Much love to you.
But the rest of you can suck my fucking hieroglyphic hog. You're all a bunch of lazy fucks. Especially you, Adam Wessex. Sitting there, you've got plenty of time to masturbate ferociously over Kenny Omega, haven't you? But you can't send an email into your mates who are being creative and productive. Fuck you guys. Fuck all of you. And for anyone watching who's thinking, I'm not sure if I'll send an email in. Well, you can get in that fucking bin and all in the dumpster fire, a lot of you. Off you go.
We are nice.
Lazy.
We are nice.
No, he is.
I promise we're nice.
There's a reason I'm called a death machine and he's called Silent. Because I will rain fiery Egyptian hell upon all of your souls, courtesy of the mighty Osiris.
And I will silently come into your room at night, shove my balls into your mouth, and then slit your throat. It's my special type of murder.
Pretty dark, isn't it? The ball slicer.
No, that's different.
He left his calling card again. It's on their chin.
That's different. The ball slicer is different. That's
ball slicer is an accident I had when I used to work in a delicatessen.
Yeah.
Everyone's got a curiosity
of
to do their own circumcision.
Very true. Very, very true.
We've both had circumcision, right?
No, I haven't.
You're Jewish, aren't you?
Ancestrally, yeah. Not practicing.
I thought you said ancestral. I was like, wait a minute.
Ancestrally, yes, I'm very Jewish.
An ancestral Jew. Marvellous. And for all those people saying, that's offensive, fuck you. I'm an Arab.
And I'm Jewish.
And
we get on well.
That's something I'm desperate to talk about, actually, before we get into emails. Did you see about Egypt suing Netflix over the Cleopatra thing?
Yes.
So I believe it's Jada Pinkett Smith will be playing Cleopatra in an upcoming docu series. So it's meant to be factually.
No, I think she isn't, but I think she's directing it.
Okay. Well, basically, a black woman is playing
Cleopatra.
Yeah. An African American. And so this will piss people off. I don't care. So loads of black people that I know are posting it on their socials and saying, grow up. Oh, fuck you. There's nothing wrong with a black woman playing Cleopatra. I was like, cool. No problems then when Brad Pitt plays Malcolm X, right? Oof, that different story. So your equality and your lack of equality for others, but only your own history, suck my dick if you're that person. Because at the end of the day, you want fucking global recognition, global equality, but yet apparently Egypt can go fuck itself. And then their argument for this is, yeah, well, Egypt's in Africa, right? Okay, like, and what? So what? Apparently, everyone in Africa has to be black. Is that what we're saying? Like, what's a ridiculous statement? Also, Cleopatra, Greek Macedonian, from an incestual fucking gypsy family. Go and do your fucking homework. Like, I cannot explain how fucking stupid it is. Like, I'm not one of these people who has an issue with you wanting black people to represent those forms in different media. I have no issue with that. So, in return, have respect for everyone else's culture. What makes you so fucking special that you're entitled to essentially blackwash, which is what they're saying? I'm not sure I really subscribe to that stupid fucking word, but you're entitled to do that, but we're not allowed to be upset about that. But you're allowed to be upset whenever somebody is cast in a role, you know, like, yeah, and people are saying, oh, it's like the Little Mermaid. No, it's not really, is it? Because Cleopatra was real. Cleopatra was actually a thing.
Yeah. So again, this is where the whole the grey area being the truth comes into form. Because the grey area in the middle is fiction can be played by fucking anyone.
Yeah.
Non-fiction has to be played by the race, the ethnicity.
Yeah.
They have to be played by that person.
So even though it annoys me that The Rock played Black Adam, who's supposed to be an Arab superhero, it's a fictional character. So I'm like, okay, whatever. That's a losing battle, whatever. This is a factual representation of a factual character.
Even if it was a fictional representation of a character, it's a fictional representation of someone who was real, someone who existed.
Yeah, I don't give a shit if James Bond is fucking yellow. I could care less.
Yeah.
But when you sit there and say to me, what's the big deal? Why can't we have a black Cleopatra? Because there wasn't a black Cleopatra. That's how it works. And also, please, for the love of God, look up what the sub-Saharan sect means. Educate yourself. Instead of it's fucking cringe. It's fucking embarrassing. It's pathetic. And do I think that Egypt are overreacting a bit by suing? Absolutely. Because it's like, mate, it's just a Netflix series. But at the same time, don't be fucking going on your social media being a bunch of woke virtue signaling tarts, crying about how your culture should be represented properly, which I agree with, and then not respect other people's cultures because apparently fuck the Arabs again. Because that's how it comes across to the Arab sector and the Arab fucking communities, the Muslim communities. It comes across as, well, hang about. Why can't we be represented properly? Yeah, you lot don't count because you flew some planes into some towers once. That's how it feels to that general sector of society. Just like, I imagine.
Because that's how it is.
Yeah, probably.
And it's
absolutely.
Deserved.
Yeah.
And it's well deserved.
It's well deserved, yeah, because it's not like the Christians rampaged around and brutally for thousands of years. We're all scum, right? All our cultures, all our societies have fucking pricks and scum and rapists and murderers. It's got nothing to do with skin color. That's called what's up in here. Dodgy mentality, bad mentality. It's got nothing to do with who you are. When people will say to me, oh, yes, well, black people are more likely to cause crimes. No, they're not. People with shitty brains are. If they happen to be more black in a certain area, that's just bad coincidence. Sometimes it may lend a certain amount of fact due to, lack of education or lack of opportunities for certain cultures and things like that. So they choose to rob or whatever it might be. So it's not black and white. But it's also that thing of, fuck you. Have that fucking moral standpoint for everything or shut the fuck up. Do not come on my fucking social media and say, look how fucking petty all the Egyptians are. Cool. No problem. Don't cry at me then when Brad Pitt gets cast as Martin Luther King, because apparently that's fine. Apparently we can now just represent anyone as anyone. So again, either completely across the board, no problem, or shut up.
The best thing that could happen, though, is I'm going to write a new version of the animation Fat Albert. And I'm going to put either me or you in the title role.
Mate, I'm playing Cleveland Brown in the next series Family Guy. I don't give a shit.
Because I think it's wonderful that, now, even better, because Fat Albert was created by Bill Cosby. That fucker doesn't deserve fucking anything. So we can now just take his intellectual rights, his intellectual property.
this obsession with, like, you know, it's tribalism again, and it's in everything. It's not just to do with race. It's culture. It's fucking pop icons. It's fucking wrestling. Whatever you say, there's tribalistic twats. But it's that thing of what pisses me off isn't the fact we have a Black Cleopatra. What pisses me off is the hypocrisy of certain people, not everyone, in the Black community who think that that's more than acceptable, and Egypt should just shut their mouths. Because apparently Egypt's like, oh yeah, well, you haven't suffered like we. Fuck off. Read your history. Like, nobody's saying that you're not valid for everything you had to go through. It's disgusting the way Black communities as a whole were treated, particularly in North America. But it's
and still are.
And yeah, exactly. It's still a massive problem. So yeah, I absolutely am an ally for your culture being well respected and on an equal level playing field. But if you're not about other people's cultures but your own, you're just as fucking bad as the white man. Sorry, that's the way it is. And if that upsets you, I don't give a fuck, because ultimately you're the one with the problem here. Don't fucking put people out there representing cultures that they have nothing to do with, and then have the same nerve to cry about other people doing it. Bullshit. Don't shit on your own breakfast table.
Saying that, it is made by Jada Pinkett Smith, who told her husband to his face that he was overreacting at him.
Queen of cuckolding wants to chat shit.
So
maybe that's why she wants to do it. She wants, Cleopatra's a strong, independent Black woman. Sorry, love. Well, I reckon, they're going to cast Mark Antony as some white twink just to fucking level the playing field even more, are they? Come on.
Well, yeah, because then the children would be the right, thing.
And, as far as Netflix, being sued and everyone will be like, oh, it's not Netflix's fault. Fuck off. I care that this massive conglomerate is getting sued. It serves you right for your shitty behaviour, doesn't it?
And I can't believe that nobody at Netflix went, hang on. Just wait there a sec. Can we take a step back? Egyptian. You reckon?
It's frustrating as well, because as part of the Arab culture, as part of the Muslim culture, or the Egyptian culture, whatever you want to call it, there isn't that much content for us that's consumed in the Western media. So here's one, and it's like, aha! Just to make it more family friendly, make them all Black. Wait, what? just fucking, coming up next week, Genghis Khan, played by Chris Hemsworth. What? That's so stupid. Like, and the thing is, it's probably designed to just distract you from the other shit going on. We should be more concerned about the fact that our government is violently raping us up the arse and taking everything that we have from us and bleeding us.
And sometimes literally.
Yes.
With one gentleman, literally, and then gets back into government.
Yeah. Can't wait for Donald Trump to get back to being the United States president.
Do you reckon he will?
Wouldn't surprise me. Would not surprise me. To be honest, that whole thing for me, I don't believe that the voting system really matters that much. I think it's rigged. I think it's bollocks. Because you can't tell me that literally the majority of this country thinks it's okay to vote in Boris Johnson. I find that hard to believe. There's definitely enough stupid people in the world, but
I think that's the problem. I kind of agree with you, but then I look at what's popular. Things like The Only Way is Essex. Someone like Gemma Collins has got a career.
Is that big bird from The Only Way is Essex?
Yeah.
Who rather famously, again, moral implications that don't come across the board. She rather famously, because I think she owns a pub in Essex or a restaurant or something, and she put a sign out saying no skinny people allowed, because she wanted to empower fat people. Empower your blood sugar level, you twat. How about that?
She went to
that offensive enough? She's a fucking absolute JCB of a human.
She fucking is. She's
absolute. She's like the pothole of Essex. All she does is damage cars. All she does.
That is good.
You know what I mean? Like, once I get angry, I feel like that's when I should do stand up. Because I can just eviscerate
Yes.
people. And but the problem is, someone would heckle me, and I'd be like, "Right, come here." I couldn't help myself. Yeah, no, I might be
No,
doing
so
stand-up
people,
soon, which is really cool. So, yeah.
you might be.
My mate has started doing his own comedy stand-up nights, and he's been doing it himself. And he said, like, you're more than welcome to come along and do it if you want. Give it a go. So,
Fucking do it.
gonna write down like a 5 or 10 minute script and run it by you and see what you think.
Do it. I mean, I'm not good at it, so
See, I thought your
I don't know
stand-up
what
was
help
excellent.
I'll be. Thank you.
I thought it was very funny, very dry, very savage in places. The opening line was my favorite by far, has to be said, from the clip that you sent me.
Wasn't written by me.
Doesn't
Wasn't
matter.
written by me. Wasn't that one?
Nah.
That was my
Nah.
that was my
Apparently,
mate
Egyptian
Lewis.
history wasn't written by us; it was written by the blacks. Good news.
No, it was written by the whites.
Yeah, everything's written by the whites.
It is.
Me, I'm white.
It is. You are. I am browner than you.
You're yellower than me. I can tell you that much. I look washed out as fuck.
I've got a good light. Good light.
Yeah, and me, I just can't be asked. Just look at this picture
Yeah.
of me as Aeron. That's what I did with my weekend. For all you people who keep fucking sending me hate mail.
So my friend Lewis said that exact line to me once in the kitchen, and I barely laughed. And I'd been wanting to use it ever since. And I even told him on that day, I'm using that in my stand-up. He goes, yeah, that's fine.
Brilliant. Everyone co-ops material. The amount of people I've seen who use very eerily similar content to like Eddie Murphy's Raw or Delirious, but they tweak it slightly. That's what most people do.
The problem is that is a no. Having conversations with friends and picking things up there is fine. Picking up actual material from other people is a very, very
Won't catch the wrestle plug doing that, mate. I'll tell you.
Really?
Did I tell you about the guy who fucking got rid of? He's a wrestler apparently in America,
right?
And so he recorded some footage of WWF on his phone,
right,
and then put it on Twitter. It was some midgets doing atomic drops, and he said, I found this from WWF in 1980, blah blah blah, on the network. So I just ripped the video. Full disclosure, I'm not going to lie about it. Ripped the video off of his Twitter account, put it on my Facebook, and went, meanwhile, in 1985, just for a laugh. And him and his friends all fucking started going on there going, you fucking stole my content. You didn't even credit me, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, think about the arrogance and the hilarity of what you're saying. When you, so what I'm going to do now is every Friday night when SmackDown comes on, I'm going to record the whole 2-hour thing on my phone. And then when WWE contacts me and says, I'll be like, no, that's my content, mate. No. You need to credit me. No. That's how that works. Shut up, whoever you are. I can't remember what your name is, but you wrestle in St. Louis, Missouri. Do me a favor. Go fuck yourself in every possible angle, you sweaty hillbilly fuck. How about that? How's that for your content, you sweaty twat? Nobody cares. You're a pothole in Virginia or some shit. Nobody cares. Go and damage more cars like Jimmy Collins does. You reprobate. You want to email me directly with your fucking sopping wet vagina having a cry. You fucking invalid. You'll do nothing. Be quiet. Twat. These people are fucking stupid. Literally, really that's what you're worried about. In a country that literally brought in a self-molesting tan machine as a president, but you want to talk to me about how I'm ripping off your material, which you ripped off of the biggest company in the world. And then your friend's like, you don't get as much interaction as us. Yeah. But I also don't contemplate suicide every day like you probably do when you look in the mirror. So be quiet. Next, please. I don't give a fuck at this point. If you want to fucking come at me, don't fucking cry about the consequences.
When you say you don't want me to come at you, I think
no, not you. You can do whatever you want to my face. But these people are losers. You live in St. Louis, mate.
Yeah. Never been.
I don't give a shit.
I would want to go. I want to. There's places in America where you can stand in a spot and you can be in all the states at the same time. I want to piss there.
I'm pissing on the states. Look, if you just want to
So
piss
I
on
could just
states at once, get a tan,
Yeah.
do the apprentice.
piss on 4 states at once.
Or you could just be Joe Biden and piss yourself because you're delirious and have Alzheimer's.
I could do that anyway and be
I
myself.
love how
It's
everyone's
fine.
like, he's a great president. He literally has done nothing, has he? Like literally nothing.
Yeah, but look what they had to, follow.
Yeah, no, but it's also that thing of like, nobody's saying that Donald Trump was just as good because clearly he wasn't. But it's that thing of like, this is literally just some old man. Joe Biden is lucky if he doesn't shit himself before he gets up on the podium. It's just a fucking old man who he looks like he's wandered into the post office looking for stamps. Got no clue.
Yeah, but
They're all
if you're
fucking
watching,
clueless.
yeah, but if you're in the theater, right, and you're watching a show, and a guy goes on stage and sets fire to himself while giving Nazi salutes, when the fire's then been put out, and the next dude comes on and just kind of swings his cock and balls between his own legs, you'd think that guy's really good.
I mean, everyone's going to enjoy a cracker when they've been eating a plate of piss.
Exactly.
Why can't you dip the cracker in the plate of piss?
Why would you want to?
You don't want to see an amalgamation of Trump and Biden. This decrepit old man with Alzheimer's with a wig that's like halfway off.
Again, that is Donald Trump.
Looking like a bottle of Sunny D.
That is genuinely just
They're
Donald
the same
Trump.
person, just less of a tan.
One of them's more orange and racist.
One of them's more orange and racist, and the other one's more incontinent and just generally doesn't have a clue where he is. I'll be amazed if he can survive a second term.
I had an idea for a podcast that I will never be able to do.
I was going to say, you barely turn up for this one.
Fuck you.
I'm
sorry to the 4 people who listen.
Oh, see, now he wants to admit that we have fuck all listeners. Now he wants to admit it. When I do it, God, don't be so mean to our listeners, but when you do it, yeah, no, acceptable. Oh, I've got kids, I've got a mortgage, I'm so cool. I haven't got time to do an hour and talk to a random hour about
I'm not so cool.
Pull your thumb out.
I'm not so cool. I'm just depressed.
You spend 2 hours every Monday night going, what was that film? Which, by the way, I didn't listen yesterday. Have no clue. What were your 3 things? And I'll see if I can get it.
Hang on a second. What was it? I'm going to work backwards. Going to see what the film was. That was it. A young lad helps his weird neighbor with chores. He gets bullied. And then he's injured, but still beats up one of them.
Is it modern or old?
Oldish.
Is it a Clint Eastwood film?
No.
I swear that's like the plot line for all of his films. He's like a decrepit old man, and someone comes to him asking for advice. And then he shows them how to use a shotgun. Honestly, the first thing that I sort of thought of was the episode of Family Guy where Chris befriends the old Nazi.
Yeah, it's not that.
Damn it. Are you re-listening to it to make sure that you know what it is?
No. Can you not hear that?
No, because Zoom minimizes outside noise even if you play it by the mic. Is this the do?
You'll be able to.
Yeah. Do. Right, now I've got to edit that over the top. Do you know who else pisses me off? People from Missouri. No, do you know what? No. I'll tell you what. Don't tell me, and we'll leave it up to the people who listen and see if anyone can guess it.
All right. Do that.
Speaking of which, people who are listening, the one person who sent in emails, because I assume Tammy is the only one who sent them in.
We did have one from Robbie as well, but that was ages ago, about a month ago.
That's all right. We'll cover it. Backlog. Well, we would have covered it, but Mark disappears for a month. You're becoming the Carl Wilkinson of Silent and Death Machine. When you only turn up for work once a month.
I had kids.
You're losing your legs.
I have one person. I have one day off that I can do things, and when I've got kids on that day.
How did you listen to the one that Tanvir did?
Yeah, really good.
He's good, isn't he?
Genuinely thought I don't need to be here.
What we'll do is, if you can't make it, we'll try and endeavour to find a random person to do it every week.
Well, we'll need Tanvir.
Well, have I
come
got
on
news
anyway.
for you?
We'll get Tanvir on anyway.
We'll have
Just
Angus
to do
Deaton
it.
on next week.
So, cocaine.
God, I'm old. Go on in. What emails you got?
So, first one from Robbie Nitro.
Who?
Robbie.
Yeah, no clue.
Okay. Hi, no
Oh,
questions.
yeah, he came on a podcast once.
Yeah. Hey, no questions this time. I just wanted to say thank you so much for having me on the podcast. It was great to finally speak openly about what happened. I will always be grateful to you both. You're both truly good people. Thank you.
Don't lie.
Thank you.
No, thank you, mate. It was very cathartic. It was quite. It took a lot to get through it, but it was worth it for your sake. It's not about us; it's about you, mate. And if it helped in any way, then I'm pleased as punch for you. That's all that matters.
Yeah. No, same. And I'm very proud.
Might be wrestling him at the end of the year.
Ooh. Slapping skin on him.
You cannot. Oh, the amount of heat we're going to get. You just know. All these fucking old veterans are going to have a little cry again. I saw something on the internet that upset me. You know what? You cry about everyone being super woke, and yet you spend all your time on the internet whinging.
I was amazed because, like, the newspapers who complain about wokeness and all this type of stuff genuinely put out things like people are up in arms about Greg's having a vegan steak bake. Come on, fuck off. You call people woke for wanting rights for trans people, and yet you're crying because there's a vegan steak bake.
Depends how it tastes.
Don't matter, does it?
Do you know what, right? Vegans, pick a lane. Gets on my nerves. If you want to be a vegan, that's fine. Enjoy your lettuce, right? But don't right? Don't be coming into my house going, oh, I'm a vegan. Oh, I'm extremely, and by the way, two people that I love and adore very much in this business are vegan. I love them, and they're super cool about it. They don't fucking shove it down my throats. When you go into these supermarkets, it's like vegan sausages, vegan bacon, because you still want to eat meat, you fucking hypocrite. Otherwise, you'd sit there with a cabbage and you'd fucking have a smile on your face, wouldn't you, you twat? You're full of shit. Linda McCartney, you got a lot to answer for, you twat.
Oh, dear.
Unbelievable.
I'm pretty sure that I read that one day Paul McCartney spoke to a rabbit that was apparently Linda McCartney, and he said it was okay for him to marry whoever he married.
And then he married the one-legged bird, didn't he?
Yes, he did, yeah.
What's her name? I can't remember her. Oh, Pegleg. What was her name?
Yeah. Wobbles.
Wobbles.
Oh, no, that was it. She was called Peg.
Peg. I can't remember what her name was. All I know is she kept going around in circles.
No, she didn't go around in circles. She just went like that.
What was that?
It's just
okay. I wonder what it was like to
I should have done it that way, to be honest.
I can't imagine Paul McCartney having sex. I wonder what it was like to have sex with her.
It depends if you fucked the stump.
Depends if it's made of wood or splinters, isn't it? Let's hope it was a proper prosthetic.
Yeah, but even then, like you'd have the stump, and you could. There is a video actually online of a comedian sucking off Adam Hills' stump.
He's very funny.
Adam Hills is brilliant.
He does the last leg, which is the irony of that not lost on me, which I think is wonderful that he can take the piss out of that. I think that's cool.
You need to watch. There's a show by him called Happyism. And if you're ever in a sad mood, watch Adam Hills' Happyism. It is an hour and a bit of just.
What's it on? Channel 4?
No, it was a stand-up show that he did. It might be on YouTube or something.
Okay.
But yeah, it's just an hour of really uplifting stand-up.
See, if you're going to be a vegan, be like Randy Feltface and own it and know that you're a cunt.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
He's funny as fuck about it.
He is great.
He's amazing.
Auntie Donna's got a new show in Australia. That's have you seen Auntie Donna? You've not seen Auntie Donna?
Never heard of it.
Oh, mate.
I only watch proper
After this,
comedians, mate.
After this, I'm going to show you some shit.
Looking forward to it.
Anyway, Tanvir emailed in.
Did he?
Yeah.
Get out of town. You don't
He
have
said,
to.
hi, guys.
Just come on the show. He's coming on later, by the way.
He goes, hi, guys. Listen to the last pod and heard the ask for more questions. So I have a couple. Number one, what is or are your comfort games? Games that you'll never get bored of and can play again forever.
Mass Effect and Grim Fandango. Grim Fandango is a masterpiece, and I'm amazed. It's been remastered for all the consoles. You can get it on Switch for like £2. And it's truly a storytelling masterpiece, and it's so beautiful. That is what I remember. I had the original version of it by LucasArts on my PC back in like fucking what, 97, and it's still to this day. It still is funny and moving and stupid and smart and all these different things. And I thought, there are games nowadays with multi-million-dollar budgets that can't get close to that though. Same with Curse of Monkey Island as well. I love playing that. I could keep playing it over and over. It's just funny and stupid, but yet quite thought-provoking. And this was back in the day when, you couldn't release a game unless it truly was, in many ways, a masterpiece for most. You had to really pour over your source material. Now I feel like it's just so soulless now, just so
a lot of things are phoned in.
Yeah, like Ubisoft are a nightmare for that. As somebody who loves the Assassin's Creed games, I've been trying to work my way through all of them, and I've got to Unity, and I've just had enough now. I'm like, fuck off, I'm bored. So I'm playing Watch Dogs, which I really like, because that's like, deep state, cyber London, what happens if we let technology completely rule our lives. And it's eerily accurate to what is probably going to be like full-on 24-hour surveillance. You can monitor everybody, but they don't have the same feeling of comfort that the story of Mass Effect 2 especially did, and most importantly, Grim Fandango and Curse of Monkey Island, which were the two games that I truly cherish as a young human being. And also Alex, the Miracle Kid, but I don't play that again. I've been told that's been remastered as well for the Switch. Well,
it has.
Might give that a go. But yeah, Grim Fandango is probably the go-to.
It's very good.
What about you?
The Batman Arkham series.
They're phenomenal. Love Arkham Asylum. Love it. Arkham City's probably my favorite. I still haven't played Arkham Knight though.
Arkham Knight was good. I preferred the story to the gameplay. But yeah, really.
I felt like Arkham City peaked in terms of story and gameplay, had the right level of it.
Yes.
But Arkham Asylum had for me the coolest backdrop. I just liked it. There was something very moody and very dark about it. But I also like the fact that you could be opened up to all of Gotham City in the second one, which is very cool.
Yeah. It was
great game.
So the credits for me, even the credits of Arkham City were amazing. Where if you don't know the story of the Arkham games, spoilers. First Arkham game, there's a lot to do with Venom, the poison that goes around Bane's body, but amplified tenfold. The Joker injects himself with at the end of the game, where you have to defeat him. The next game is a toss-up between the Joker being ill and the Joker not being ill. And at the end, you fight the Joker and basically take the venom off him. The antidote off him, and he dies. So the Joker dies.
That scene where he's like carrying him out is actually really poignant.
It's fucking stunning.
Also, the side quests with the Riddler are amazing. That is for me how he should be represented. Listening to those voice notes and trying to, all those incredible little puzzles, like the one with the electric floor and the water to save that person. Brilliantly done. Brilliant.
Really well done.
Masterful. Like that in its own could be a puzzle game just by itself and it would be amazing. But then that's just a little side quest. Phenomenal.
But the thing is, all the way through the second game, you're getting voice mails from the Joker. You just get little voicemail notes that are quite funny and have a lot to do with the story. but then
Mark
right at the
Hamill,
end
isn't it,
when the
doing his
credits
voice?
roll, yeah.
Yeah,
But then when
because
the
isn't
credits
he the
roll
original voice for him in the animated series, right?
in the animated series,
He's
yeah,
like quite
it was
famous for
Kevin
being the
Conroy who was,
main voice of the Joker.
yeah, it was Mark Hamill as well as the Batman in the animated series and in the Arkham games.
Is he still alive,
So,
or is
yeah.
he recently just passed?
Passed away last year.
I remember that because I remember a lot of outpouring about in the DC community about it, which was lovely because people just immediately go to Luke Skywalker, which is fine. I get that, but yeah, no, he contributed a lot to so many different things, and the animated stuff.
Oh no, Kevin Conroy passed away. Mark Hamill's still alive.
Oh, okay, because I remember. So Kevin Conroy did the original Batman voice.
Yeah, he did Batman. Yeah, they are. When I read a comic book, when I read a Batman comic book, they are the voices that
That's the voice you hear. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
But
Voice of a
when the
generation.
credits roll on Arkham, yeah, when the credits roll on Arkham City, a little bit goes by, and then the your answer phone pings again, and it's the Joker singing "Only You," but in a very dark, sinister way, and it's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, multiple wrestlers have tried to rip off the gimmick for themselves, and it just doesn't work. Just do your own thing.
A lot of people thought that when I was doing my clown that was a gimmick, that was more of a Joker gimmick. I went, no, it's just a guy who doesn't give a shit. He just does not give a flying fuck. Yeah, but that might be a story for another time. So yeah, Arkham games, and I'm playing at the moment Stardew Valley.
Hear a lot of good things.
Which is one of those where I can just sit down and do stuff, and I've wasted 3 hours, and all I've done is just pick crops and go exploring.
I used to be a bit like that with Minecraft, but I dip in and out of it.
Yeah.
I never stick with it long
Same.
enough to truly love it. I'll play it for like 2 months solid, upset, and then I won't play it for like a year. Like, and then I come back to it and I'm amazed by all these new updates. There's pandas and all this shit, and I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Play it for 2 months and then it repeat process. Currently in my year sabbatical from Minecraft. Don't give a fuck.
He also asks, what is the game or match that got you into wrestling or inspired you to search for more?
It's kind of a two-headed thing for me. So the first WWE match I ever saw was Roddy Piper versus Bret Hart for the IC title at WrestleMania 8. And that was immediately, I was like, yo, those are like the pinnacle of face and heel for me. And so Roddy Piper was the man, but Bret Hart was my favorite all-time wrestler. That's what made me want to be a wrestler and be in the wrestling business. And the flip side of it was World of Sport with Giant Haystacks and Big Daddy. Because even though I didn't necessarily enjoy it that much, I was always intrinsically linked by it. Because apparently my granddad, who passed away just before I was born, was a humongous World of Sport fan, was also close friends with Shirley Crabtree.
Nice.
So it's nice to have that kind of lineage there, you know?
Yeah. I've never, as people who listen and know my wrestling career know, I've never been that clued up on wrestling. I know next to fuck all.
That's why you enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not sad enough to just completely immerse yourself with it your whole life.
Yeah. But my mate Lewis took me to a wrestling show in Morecambe. And I'd always wanted to get into wrestling. I'd always wanted to watch it, but never had the.
You went to the one where Spud caught his bollocks, right, on the Battle Royal?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you know what?
Because
I remember you mentioned
WrestlePlug podcast.
Yeah, you mentioned on WrestlePlug, and I scoured. So there's loads of old school FWA shows from the Morecambe Arena or whatever they called it. Because that's a very famous venue for World of Sport and FWA. And like people don't realize Morecambe has a ridiculously rich history of wrestling. And I literally watched every Spud match ever, trying to find that one clip. Couldn't find it. That's how OCD I am about my podcasts.
It was a Rumble.
Yeah, no, and I found Rumbles that he's in and all sorts. Could not find that specific one. That specific one is missing. Somebody's got it somewhere.
I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know that they were on the internet. I will have to have a look.
There's loads of them. I'll tell you what, mate, if you want to sit down and do a watch along for WrestlePlay, wouldn't that be good fun? Just sitting there watching it, having a laugh.
Shit, yes. I'll look for that. So I never really got into it until I started watching things in Morecambe. And then the one that I always remember, and I will always go back to it, it was a WrestleMania, and it's one where Bray Wyatt was against The Undertaker.
WrestleMania 31.
and I'd become a fan of Bray Wyatt because I loved his character. I loved that whole Firefly thing. And it amazed me how much they fucked up. Not the wrestlers, but the production. Because they did not take into account daylight savings. So
because it's on the West Coast as well, so it takes longer for it to get dark. Yeah.
So the two darkest characters in WWE came out to their very dark openings in bright sunshine.
Yeah, they tried to, and it was the penultimate match. They tried to wait as long as possible, and it
was.
only starts getting dark about halfway through the main event.
Yeah, and it's so fucking funny because you can just see the Undertaker going down, going, "Oh, for fuck's sake!"
Yeah, like there's no hiding. Like there's, lightning, behave. It's fucking maybe a tropical thunderstorm, mate. Get out of here.
And everyone there with their phones up and their torches on, and it just looks like people are on their phones.
Yeah,
it's so funny. So that's the one thing I remember.
That's wrestling for you.
Oh, very much so. Question 3 for Mark: what was the comedy set or comedian that got you to pursue stand-up, and whose sets do you go for inspiration? I'd always wanted to be a stand-up since I was young. I'd always wanted to do some sort of comedy because I liked making people laugh. Comedians that I like, Daniel Kitson is someone who I love. Brendan Burns, who is very, very funny. If you can find his show, So I Suppose This Is Offensive Now, is a masterclass in stand-up. Properly a masterclass in stand-up. And he also says, also, Mark, what's your favorite aspect of doing radio, and what's your favorite band or track that you like putting on? I like the best thing that's happened to me in radio is someone getting in touch and saying, I listened to this band on your show and I really like them, so I bought every album. And it was the band Motion City Soundtrack, and the song I played was Antonia, and they loved that song, so they just bought their entire back catalogue. I just fucking love that. As for songs that I like putting on, there are a few at the moment. One of them is Greener by Tally Hall, which is just fun, a bit of a fun track. And another one is a song by Bomb the Music Industry. There's 2 songs by Bomb the Music Industry that I really like. One of them is called 25, and another one of them is called Sort of Like Being Pumped. And I just love them because they're really good songs, but I've got another connection because my son also enjoys singing them, which is really, really funny hearing a 6-year-old try and do the screaming harmonies of a song. It's fucking nice. So yeah, that's mine.
Happy days.
And then he says, thank you guys and all you do, and continue loving the podcasts.
Thank you for coming on, mate.
So thank you, and thank you for being here when I'm not, because I'm a shit.
Pretty much.
I shouldn't have the kids on a Tuesday for a while, so we should be back up and running.
Okay, cool. Just fucking get a minute.
Yeah, and that's it. That is it. Because by the time I get the girl one to bed, it's about 9:30, and
just put them in a Gemma Collins for an evening. That'll be fun.
Oh no, I wouldn't even put my kids through going anywhere near Gemma Collins.
Oh, I'm in a pothole.
Oh, okay. There's a lot around here. I live in Morecambe. So what are you doing next week? What's your plan for the week ahead?
I have Coliseum this Sunday. Bought a brand new.
All right, rub it in.
I've got a booking. I am the head voice, of course, and face of Coliseum. I like to think I'm the face because ultimately, look at me, I'm fucking gorgeous. God damn. Bought a new suit. Looking forward to that. Do you know what I'm most looking forward to about Coliseum? It's not the fact that I'm in a locker room with some of the best wrestlers in the world, or the fact that I'm their commentator and I get to see all my friends, and Andy Ward, the videographer, is a great friend of mine, all that stuff. It's actually the fact that when the show finishes, I don't have to go home and do any work for it. Oh, thank God. Because I'm so sick and tired of I love it. but there is a part of me. It's like, I've had to edit like 6 shows in the last 2 weeks. Fucking just poring over my laptop for hours upon hours every day, trying to make stuff look good. Still got to do the exposure from Sunday. I'm just finishing off Wrestling Society, which is Portishead. I'm now doing commentary for loads of different companies: Wrestling Society, IWE, Rumble, which is very cool. You know, to get all these new gigs, so to speak. I mean, I do them off my own back because I think, you know, you want to get out there more, well, then fucking put your voice on it. And luckily, I know the promoters of all those places very well, and they're super cognizant to what I do, and they think that I'm really good at it as well. Also did the BCD commentary as well. So I'm now a commentator. I've gone from, what's really cool is I wrote a bucket list at the beginning of this year of things I wanted to do as a wrestler, which was very minimal because I just don't train or anything. So obviously, you know, even just being in the Rumble is a blessing. But I wrote down all the things I want to do in media because I feel like I had a ridiculously successful year last year. So I wanted to do more shows than I did last year. So I want to try and breach 50. By the end of this weekend, I'll have done 20, which is quite cool. So I feel like I'm sort of on pace. Depends, obviously, how much work I get in the months where it goes quiet, where the summer camps are working and there's just no work. And then, obviously, I had written down commentate for 3 new companies. Done that already. Debut for 3 new companies, a videographer. Done that already. So it's like ticking off my bucket list. I've actually achieved like half of it already. I'm only in April, so that's very cool. Nice. But yeah, this weekend I've got Rumble on Friday as a videography gig, which I'm really excited about. Love Rumble, easy. Done it 100 times now, like just perfect, easy. Sold out show in Ditton, about 400 there, which is fucking sick. And then obviously Coliseum on Sunday, and hopefully it's done well. Have no idea what the pre-sales and that are like. Hopefully there'll be a lot of it. There's loads of people coming to see me, which is very flattering. Because they won't be seeing much of me, to be fair, unless they all want to sit behind the announce desk, which they're welcome to do. I'm looking forward to winding up Jesse again on commentary. That's basically what I'm looking to do. Like, I'm essentially getting paid to talk about how nice Roy Johnson's bunda is. That's what I'm going to do. I'm an idiot. And I love popping everyone around me, especially when Troy was on the headset at the last show. And I'm just like sort of looking around at him like, And he's just pissing himself off. Just being a dick, being a troll. I like working with Jake. He was a lot of fun at the last show. So hopefully that'll continue. Just know his place and know that he's second to me. That's fine. But yeah, no, it's fun. I enjoy Coliseum. It doesn't, you know, every show comes with its stresses and difficulties, but yeah, it's exciting. Matt Raven's going to be announced, the photographer who's been taking amazing photos of me over the last few shows I've been on. And so it's lovely to, you know, to be photographed is a big deal when you're normally the guy behind the camera. So to be in front of a camera is very cool. So I think that's why I like Coliseum. I only get to do it 2 or 3 times a year, but it just scratches that itch a little bit. And it's like, yeah, that's pretty cool. And I always remember the fact that I was asked to do Coliseum. I never asked to do it. I was asked myself, you know, I was headhunted, so to speak. And it's always a very sort of a point of, you know, flattery, really. It's like, that's nice. That's nice. You know, people are paying in a way to hear me as well as see the other guys. It's just very cool. So, yeah, can't complain.
Good.
Don't take it for granted. Never, ever, ever will I take it for granted. I treat every gig I do, whether it be videography, commentary, wrestling, as my last, because I appreciate how blessed I am to get to do what I want to do instead of have, you know, clock in as a number, which is what I did for all those years. So yeah, should be a good weekend. Rumble on Friday, Coliseum on Sunday. Hopefully chill out on Saturday, maybe go and see my sister. One other thing I'm super proud of, you'll love this, fun story for you, because you can take the piss out of me. So, not so fun. Got hit by a drunk driver. Wiped out my wing mirror. If I hadn't swerved, he would have hit me head on.
I remember seeing that.
Yeah. So I wasn't shook up at the fact that, you know, because you know me, I don't, you know, I'm a very dramatic person, but when crazy things happen to me, I don't make a big deal out of them. It's very weird. So I, you know, probably could have died. Okay, whatever. It's cool. I'm still here. So good news. Although, you know, diabetes will take effect at some point. But it's that thing of, so the wing mirror gets wiped out. Go to the garage. That'll be £400 to replace your wing mirror, mate. Like, yeah. So apparently, a brand new wing mirror, a proper sourced one, a proper, you know, factory fitted one is about 170 before you even factor in manual labor, and that's why. And so my garage was like, yeah, 350 to 400 You know, it's an estimated ballpark figure. But to his credit, the younger mechanic there did say to me, look, you can get, you know, pretty decent parts on eBay and stuff. So if you bring it to us, it'll be much cheaper. So money's a bit tight. Bills are pretty, you know, I'm really struggling. Not struggling, but, you know, most of my resources are going into bills right now. There's not much disposable income. So, which means thank God for me that I've already got all my gear, you know. But I got a replacement wing mirror for 37 quid off of eBay, brand new, and thought, cool, not the same color, but that's kind of neither here nor there. Like that's the least of your issues there. Because that was the other thing. They were like, yeah, we've got to spray paint it red for you and everything. I was like, you don't really though, do you? You just kind of looking at, you know, just topping it up, putting more money on it, you cheeky cunts. So I got that, and then I went and bought a socket set and a screwdriver set, a proper nice pro one from Screwfix. That was about 40 quid. So that's 77 all in. And I completely stripped the door panel off and did it myself. Just took the entire door panel off, rewired the wing mirror, screwed it in, lug nuts, the whole lot. You know, people walking past, my next door neighbor was like, "You're a mechanic?" I was like, "No." He was like, "Oh, you just, you know, you're working away there. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on now." I was like, "Whatever." But the fun part of this is completely replaced it. The fun fart and the fun fact.
Yeah.
Right, they're neither, you know, one of the same, if you ask me. But so I've done it all, and I thought, fuck yes. Put the fucking door panel on, everything. Turn it on, works fine. Indicator works. It moves properly because it's electric. I'm like, fucking happy days. Really proud of that. Go to open the door to get out of the car. Can't get out. Turns out, dislodged the latch, which the mechanism that attaches to the thing. This is at about 8:30, 9 at night, the night before exposure. So Saturday night, just gone. And I'm like, and it's getting dark and it's pissing it down with rain. And I'm thinking, shit. I'll tell you what, I'll do it in the morning. Don't have time, of course, because I got 1.5 hours sleep because I'm that guy. So wake up late, got to pick up Toby from Portsmouth. Luckily, wind the window down, open it from the outside. Okay, so it's not like the end of the world. However, window only winds halfway down because the mechanism, because what you're supposed to do, ladies and gentlemen, wind the window down first. That's my pro tip. Didn't do that. So, of course, when you wind the window down, it's like, oh, cable. So the window would then go down a bit. So I'm like, like a twat trying to get out of the car. And then, so we're picking up Laura Di Matteo. She's one of the biggest stars in women's wrestling. By the way, beautiful human being. Cannot express how amazing she is. Hopefully you get a chance to see her up and more. If you do, say hello to her for me. She absolutely fell in love with her as a human being. I thought she was magnificent. Just a magical soul. And so I've got to pick her up from Farnham. That's where she lives. I picked up Toby already from Portsmouth Harbour. So me and Toby are sat outside the co-op. I thought, like, we'll stop at the co-op, get some snacks first. And then I said to Toby, look, I'm going to do it now because I can't be asked to fucking. So we've still got some time. We're early. Let's get the door panel off and do it. And so there's these two overbearing, you know, slightly bulky wrestlers in the co-op car park just fucking having at it with this door, like unscrewing it, fucking jamming it up. And Toby, to his credit, was like, "Yep, this mechanism," and he doesn't have any clue about cars. And yeah, so and it was so simple. Door panel came off, realized, that mechanism's detached. Slot that on, cool. And then, luckily for me, I was clever enough to realize with the window, I was like, it's every time I was putting it down, the cable was going through and trapping it. I'm like, cool. So disconnected, wound it down, reconnected. Now it's all done. Professional job. So the moral of the story is, if you don't get it right the first time, or you don't get all of it right the first time, you can still go back and get it fixed. So it's fine.
Here's the other moral of the story. If you're trapped in a car where one of the doors it's difficult to get one of the doors open, you have more than one door in a car.
Yes, but not everyone is a 6'4". Not everyone is a 6'4" fat cunt who, if they try and scooch over to the other side, will most likely anally violate themselves with a gear shift. That's what you have to think about there. Oh, also, fun fact. So when the first time I did it, right? So I bought this brand new socket set, bought this brand new screwdriver set, and I'm like, I'm ready to go. I'm Mr. Mechanic. I can fucking do this. I've seen YouTube videos. I'm good to go. And turns out, actually, those YouTube videos do work. They actually do work. They're helpful. So open up the you know, it's one of them like plastic sealed sets. Cut it open. One of the parts falls out. I'm like, shit. Turns out that's the part that you need to attach all the magnetized sockets. So you have to have that part. Falls down the fucking handbrake well. So I have to completely detach the middle piece as well. And it sounds so stupid, but now I've learned how to completely detach and reattach the handbrake well and all that, which is really funny.
You're such a bellend.
And I'm just like, this is like, and I'm like, most people like, so some mechanic probably could have done this in like 15 minutes, but I'm like, nope, absolutely not, because I'm stubborn as fuck. And so the whole process probably took 6 or 7 hours to replace a wing mirror. But I also saved myself 300 quid, so you can all suck it. It's really, because it's like all that funny shit, all that stupidity, but the car's absolutely fine. And now that it's actually been, and the great thing is, if it ever happens again, I don't have to shit myself and panic. I mean, oh crap, that's 300-400 quid. I'm like, that's cool. Go to eBay. And it's the lesson for me to you is have fun with it, enjoy being an idiot, and also, it's not the end of the world. There's always a fixable solution. There always is. Do not assume that you have to just take the most expensive option and suck it up. You actually don't. And it's a reference point that all of these people and all these companies, yeah, absolutely, they charge a lot of money, and rightfully so, because they do a bang up job for the most part, especially if they're credible. But you know what? We can actually look after ourselves a lot more than we realize, and we can do a lot more for ourselves than we realize. And that was another thing that gave me great mental satisfaction, was knowing that, do you know what? I could have just been lazy or caved in or been depressed and gone to the mechanic and just gone, you know, it's 400 quid, fuck it, do it, and waste my savers. And instead, I had the mental strength and the gumption. I'm like, no, I'll at least give it a go, for fuck's sake. There's so many things you can do. I can replace a car battery now. I can replace a wing mirror. You know, there's loads of different things that I can do. I can, change my wheels and stuff like that. And it's amazing how many people can't even do that, or can't even bother to change a light bulb. Give it a go. All these little things. Now I realize, why my stepdad was always so obsessed with being a handyman and doing jobs around the house and things like that, because it saves you hundreds upon thousands actually over time.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Give it a go. It's also fun. It's fun. I had my headphones in. I was listening to a podcast while I was doing it, and actually it was better than just sitting in front of the TV watching reruns of the Craig Ferguson show, which I do still enjoy, it has to be said. But and also £300 better off for it.
Well, yeah, that's always a positive.
So yeah, wing mirror fixed, and I'm doing wrestling this weekend, and I'm wearing a suit. Some sexy photos.
My bit of advice. So that was Nix's bit of advice. My bit of advice is there is one thing worse than picking your bum on a first date, and that's picking her bum on a first date.
Oh, is that what you did?
No, I'm just saying in general. Last thing you want to do on a first date is you try and get a knickers out of her ass crack.
Depends. I don't know. Something quite charming.
At least on a meeting.
Don't do it it'd be more awkward if you're like, oh, let me like without even telling them. Yeah, whatever. I've probably done worse.
So next week on Silent and the Death Machine, Aeron Nix will blow up a balloon with just his cock, and I will be here.
You said that before, but you never know what the world has in store for you.
Well, yeah.
Some people are loyal to the listeners. Some people aren't. You make that choice.
I'm a rebel. I don't give a shit who I upset.
Yeah, judging from what I've said on this podcast, chances are I'm probably more in that bracket than you are at this point.
Probably.
I'm just a bad human being, and apparently I hear about this every day. I've seen screenshots. He's a cunt. He's a narcissist. He's a cancer and all that. And I'm like, yeah, all right. You're spouting facts, but nobody's listening. If you want me to be a piece of shit, don't cry when I act like a piece of shit. It's very weird behavior. We want validation, so we want him to be a cunt, so that we can then say, "See, told you so." Strange people out there.
Do you have anything else you want to say before we go?
Yes, these people have the family tree that looks like a plate of spaghetti. Anything you want to
say? Fallopian.
Nice word.
Yeah.
Often associated with tubes.
Indeed. Very true. But I like the word fallopian.
Do you know what word I like?
What?
It's actually 2 words. Velocity dispersion.
So he's been velocity dispersion. I am the powerful thrump.
Ah, yes.
And we will see. And we will see you another time. Right, I'm going to have a piss. Are you going to say something to me before I go?
Are you literally leaving? Is that you done for the evening?
Well, no, I'm done for the podcast. I am going for a piss, but then I'll come back to you.
Okay, cool. Have fun, everyone. Send more emails, you lazy cunts. Lazy. Do you not do the penis fun thing anymore?
I will only do it when it's not expected.
Oh, okay. So because I'm looking for it now, you won't do it.
Yeah. And then you'll have forgotten about it, and then I'll start doing it again.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm amazed I didn't mention relationships. Have fun. Enjoy your pet.
I'm going to have a wee.
10 seconds later. Yeah. Podcast should have ended by now, so you're probably sitting there going, it's time for a wank. Or I want to have sex with my missus. For those of you, I say, fuck you. Velocity dispersion. Yeah. Yeah, that works for me. Turns out Egypt is right, Netflix is wrong. And yeah. Send more emails. Love you.